Hello, my loves. It's Elizabeth, Finding Elizabeth. How are you? Look, I have to show you my new cup that I ordered from Tanya, VDQ Creations. I'm going to put the info below. Is this not the most amazing thing? The best is yet to come, because the best is yet to come. Here comes Dale Cooper, because I'm talking, obviously. How are you? So, I'm going to stop saying my stats all the time. All I'm going to say is, for perspective, I used to weigh 402 pounds. I've lost almost 200 pounds and kept it off for a while. I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy almost 5 years ago. And I have this cat named Dale Cooper who is a piece of work. Are you a piece of work? You're a piece of work. Anyway, yeah. So, Dale, really? He missed you guys. Did you miss the YouTube people? Dale? Anyway, I need to make this fast. So let me make it fast. Last week, lost almost like 180 pounds. Kept it off for a hot minute. Still have about 25 pounds to go. And I have been playing around with different things. I've mainly been keto. I've been working out super hard 5 days a week. And I was really craving natural carbs. Excuse me. And so I decided last week to give intermittent fasting a try. Fail. Big, gigantic fail. I'm up 2 pounds from where I was last week. So, which was interesting because, and I was also gotten to the point where I was, pardon my French, fucking starving. And obsessing about food, which I generally never, ever, ever do. So I have been listening to an Audible book of The Obesity Code by Jason Fung, who's the guy who is like the intermittent fasting proponent person. And I'm not very far, but it's just really fascinating how he talks about the existing research on low-calorie diets and why that doesn't work and blah, 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 blah. And so I think what happened with the intermittent fasting, because it did drastically cut my calories, like by 30 or 40%. And I was working out so hard, I think my body just like clamped down and was like, what are you doing? Stop. Don't do that. You're starving us. So as of today, we are back on keto, which ultimately I know is what I'm supposed to be doing because that's the lifestyle that works for me long term. Anyway, but you know, I'm just trying different things out. The interesting thing about the intermittent fasting was, number one, how hungry I got and when I got hungry, and not just for like, because I can sustain hunger for a while, but the other night, so I would stop eating at like 6 or 6:30, so that would mean I would eat at 10 or 10:30 the next day. And I work out at 5 a.m. And one night, I literally woke up at 1:30 in the morning starving, and then didn't, and was starving pretty much that entire time. So, anyway, but I'm curious, I'm curious about all this blood glucose stuff and insulin resistance and just kind of learning. So I'm doing a lot of testing of my blood glucose and my ketones and all those things. And what else is going on with my life? I'm just sort of relaxing a little bit. I'm trying. My whole life has been based on trying to figure out, and it sounds like I'm trying to figure out this, which I sort of am. But my whole life has been based around trying to figure out every psychological and emotional thing that's going on that has anything to do with me on the planet. And, because it gives me a sense of control. And in my work life, I know that because my role is VP of Operations and Fundraising, but as VP of Operations, sort of everything falls under me. So I have some oversight over most of the activities of the organization. But what I found I was doing was I was trying to control all of the activities, all the meetings, trying to push things through, try to answer questions that weren't mine to answer. And so just in general in my life, I've just been sort of taking it down a notch and relaxing. And I have to tell you, from a work level, number one, it just allows other people to step into their role in a better way. And it's just much less stressful for me, because if I just shut up for a half a minute and let other people figure it out, all my anxiety about it goes away. So I'm doing that in my work. I'm doing it in my personal life. I'm just trying to pay attention to how I feel about things and use that as my sort of gauge to how to move forward. Whether that's relationships with men or friends or family, whether that's stuff I want to get done in my house. I mean, it's just all of it. I'm just trying to pay attention to how I feel. And it really helps that I have a pretty consistent and deep spiritual practice that I've done pretty consistently now for a while. I had sort of taken, I don't know that I've ever done it as consistently as I've done it right now for like the last 4 or 5 months. And it really just leads to a little bit better ability to kind of figure out my own feelings and things. So that's interesting. That's sort of what I'm doing. Listen to a great podcast this week by Seth Godin. Last week I gave you guys a TED Talk. This week I'm going to give you the Seth Godin podcast. He's a marketing sort of guru, but this is more about the stuff I'm talking about. Sort of allowing, sort of facing your fears or the things that make you uncomfortable, which may not sound like what I'm doing, but it sort of is. Because sitting in the silence for me when things are going on and taking a beat and not trying to control everything is really about my fear of lack of control. So that is your weekly dose from Liz Land. I hope you guys have a great week, and I hope to come back to you next week without these 2 extra pounds. Talk to you later. Have a great week. Bye.